Hey everyone, TG here with simplertrading.com, and this is going to be your daily five with StockCharts.com. I hope everyone is having a great new year. We are now into 2021, and let's go dive into some charts and see some of the good trades we've had and some that I think are setting up into the future. So one of these, I made a presentation a few weeks ago, kind of talking about where the state of the market was and some of the big things that I was seeing coming out there. If you guys are interested in that, the link is down here at the bottom, simplertrading.com/trampoline-replay. I really would recommend going to look at that. And I also give some guidance as to what I think 2021 is going to be looking like. But one of the trades that I mentioned in this presentation as basically a public trade was UAVS. You can see that up here. And part of the thing I was talking about is, hey, drones are going to be a thing in our future. We're talking about aerial drone delivery. They're already doing some tests out in Africa since it's a very rural area. And I kind of said, I think this is going to be one of those surprising stocks. It's a bit of a sleeper, and I think it's got some good potential. And I mentioned it all the way back here when price was bouncing off of the monthly 10 right there. And then we actually started getting into it right around here on the hourly chart. And then what we could look at was on the 15 that we saw that this thing was starting to really get up and get going. And so what we noticed was that we got the Moxie price triggers, which are these arrows right here. And you can see we also got these arrows right here on this time frame as well. And then we started to get into it. Now look at the volume that started to come into this. The volume are these bars in the background right there. There was a lot of volume that came into this thing. I mean, millions of shares started to become active on this, and the thing just went up. And so we started pulling off our profit at 130%. And we pulled off a little bit more at 190%. And we pulled even more off at 210%. And then we pulled the rest of it off once it actually turned around. So this was like a really great, fantastic trade of ours. And what I wanted to then bring you next is I think that there's another similar something coming into this. So if we look here, we have CAN. Now, if anybody has been paying attention to some of the Bitcoin stuff that has been going on, we know that Bitcoin is going crazy. We also know that there are a lot of stocks kind of related to Bitcoin or in the crypto sphere, and then other stocks that are investing or that they've put their cash into Bitcoin. And since Bitcoin is going crazy, they're doing well. And one of those, again, kind of like that sleeper stock from UAVS that did this. This is CAN, and they're kind of in the blockchain area, sphere. And so what we did is we actually looked at this. We jumped in last week at the end of 2020, got in right there, and then there was some news that came out, and this thing popped 40% in one day. So that was really great. Again, look at the volume. You can see the volume is kind of doing this down here for a little bit, and then suddenly look at this surge of volume. And even today, it's still up a little bit. And I imagine that this thing should be catching some traction to really get going. One other thing to note is that we did have a nice squeeze on the daily chart, and we even did have a bit of a squeeze here on the hourly chart just before this thing fired. So one of those things that I like to incorporate of my trading with the Moxie indicator is also the squeeze. And you can see up here, this was the actual trade alert back here on December 30th at 11 a.m. I want to say that was probably Pacific for the time frame that I was in, or time zone. So that's a real trade. That's the real alert that's sent out, and so far we're having fun with it. And that kind of volume that comes into this, it should be sustainable. All right, then we kind of move forward, and what we can look at is one of the indices that I wanted to take a look at. Now, today I noticed that for SMH, it's actually up significantly compared to what the rest of the market is doing. The market is actually down right now. So this is the SMH daily. It's basically the semiconductor ETF. And this is very challenging to read, and I've been trying to discern where price is going to be going in the future. But I looked back and I said, hey, back here in about June of 2020, this pattern looked very similar to what we're dealing with right now. And what I mean by that is you can see price came down and tapped the daily 21, and then came down and tapped the daily 21 EMA again. And we're kind of doing the same thing of staying above the daily 21, staying above the daily 21. And all the while, the 8 was able to stay over the 21, so create that distance right there. And the 8 stayed over the 21 right there as well. And so it just looked to me like there's the possibility that this could just kind of keep going up from here because, well, it did it before, kind of like this. And again, stayed above the 21 and did that all until it got overbought. So that's kind of what I was looking at for this. One other way I was looking at it, and this is why I was trying to say, hey, what's this going to do is a lot of times I see that price likes to come down to the daily 50, and we have a large distance between price and the daily 50. And I was thinking, is it going to go there like it did here and here, or is it actually just going to flag sideways and move up? And for now, I think it seems, this morning, it seems as though the answer is it wants to keep going up. And so a very, very similar pattern as it was back in June 2020. Then we get into another one, silver. We'll talk about some of the precious metals. Now, they too have had a really, really good day today. Gold has been moving up. The gold miners are moving up. Silver has been ahead of the pack. And so that is why I tackled silver for the Moxie group and anybody who subscribes and follows me. But because we did this, and this is another one of those setups that I use for Moxie and my particular trading. I call it the trampoline move. And that's when price is below the 50 and the Moxie indicator stays above zero. That is a high buoyancy, high pressure, big move kind of situation. And sure enough, it worked out. And so what we did is we jumped in on it the next day after it started to work. And you can see once again, there was a squeeze in through here telling us that there was some compression and some consolidation as the calm before the storm. So we got that first move. And then I was just looking for a pullback or some test of support. And we got that right here when price bounced off, found the hourly 50 for support. We got in a couple of days later right there. And I believe right now, like we're probably up in this area. I haven't really memorized the number right now, but it's up pretty nicely. And so that one was doing well for us also. So this is going to be the last one I leave you off with of the 5 for today. And this is just an idea that I'm putting out there. It hasn't fired yet. I'm kind of keeping an eye on it. And I want to see if this is going to work. It worked for me once already because what we can see here was the 8 was over the 21 and price was getting over the daily 50 plus kind of staying on the daily 50. You can see kind of just tap the daily 50 right there too. There was the squeeze also. And then this trade I actually took on the lower time frame, say with the hourly and the 15-minute time frame, and then I sold out right about there. That was a good move. And since that point, it just got a little overbought. You see there's a big distance between price and the daily 50, and it's pulling back. You even see double top, it's pulling back. And so what I'm looking for, and as I said, it's not there yet, but what I wanted to put out there for anybody who is interested in this one was keep an eye on it, and let's see what it's going to do here at the daily 50 and the daily 200. Is it going to keep coming down? Is it going to bounce exactly off of it? Is it going to kind of go sideways and find support at it and then move up? So this is something I'm putting out there that I think that should be developing in the near future. So we'll keep an eye on that and see what we can do for it. And so for now, that is going to be your daily 5. I do appreciate y'all turning in. And if you have any more questions and want to find any more information about me, you can come over here to profitpilot.com and get the free newsletter that I put out twice a week. I also have the socials. We got Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, if you guys want to see a little bit more about my life and some of the fun things I do. And then if you guys are interested in the actual alert service, the Moxie alert service, where I actually send out these trades and tell people what I'm doing, you can come over here to simplertrading.com/stockcharts-TG. And within that, when you sign up, you get live trading. In fact, we have live trading tomorrow, which is Tuesday. It's usually the first or second Tuesday of the month. So tomorrow, the 5th, is we're going to be doing live trading. So we got a little over 2 hours for that. If you're interested, come join up. Interactive question and answer. During the live trading, I'm there to talk to you, really see what you guys are into and answer any questions. And then the real-time alerts. This is what we could get into. It's how I send people out the trades that I'm doing. Got a lot of downloads for you. We trade spreadsheet. I don't hide anything. It's all out there for you to see and to follow along. And then, of course, that newsletter I was talking about. So once again, thank you all for tuning in, and I'll catch you at the next Daily 5.
Hey, Grayson Rose here with StockCharts. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, consider giving it a like down below, maybe leave us a comment, and if you're new to the channel, you can subscribe at the link up above. We're gonna bring you daily content from an incredible collection of technical analysts and financial experts.